Hi, this is MGTV and I'm Michelle Greenman, Women's Wellness Coach, and weekly I'm here teaching you how to live healthfully, how to have wellness so that every day is an amazing day that you get to spend doing what you were put on this planet to do. So this week I really wanted to talk about gut flora and specifically what I've been learning about probiotics. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why it's important, how it's going to help you, and some ways to improve gut flora without eating fermented foods. Also, I'm going to talk to you about an easy way to see gut flora that allows you to really be able to help others make sense of it and hopefully help you make sense of it too. So, one of my clients got sick and she ended up going to the doctors, and the doctors gave her antibiotics, which is kind of horrifying. So antibiotics actually kill all the bacteria, good and bad, that is in your system, in your stomach system, in your colon. And the problem with this is that gut flora is like a garden. It's like when you travel. I remember when I used to love to look into travel books. And there's always a section that said for flora and fauna, which explained the type of environment that this place had. So it could be the trees, the grass, the countryside, if it was mountainous, if there was lots of water, if it was dry. So your gut flora is like a little forest inside your stomach. It's like a garden inside your stomach that's job is to really help you do a few really important things. One is your metabolism. Two is your energy production. Three is your gene expression, and that's super important. How your genes are expressed are one of the most important things in your body, because you can literally turn on or off the cancer gene if you do have a cancer gene, or depression, or obesity, based on how your genes are expressed. Oh, nutrition, that was the fourth one, is, maybe you've heard this before, it's not what you eat, but it's what you absorb. Your gut flora is responsible for absorbing the nutrients from your food. And so if it's non-existent because you've taken some antibiotics, then you have a hard time with nutrition. And I find that, especially when it comes to obesity, that the people who have are a lot of extra weight are usually the most malnourished. They do not get enough nutrition. And so part of what your body does is actually encourage you to eat more and eat more and eat more, because it's looking for certain nutrients that it needs to stay alive, to be healthy, and to feel good. And so if you're not getting a good amount of nutrition, even if you're eating the best foods, if you're investing in the best foods, but your digestion system is not actually absorbing the nutrients, you can end up in a really bad situation. So usually what happens is people go to fermented foods, or they take probiotics, but probiotics have less biotics for gut flora than fermented foods do. Some people have eaten dirt. Some people have gotten transplanted of somebody else's bowel, not like actual fecal matter, to help them build up their probiotics. It's something we actually get as a baby. While we're going through our mother's canal, we actually gain these biotics, and also because we breastfeed and we're close to her, we get these probiotics from her in our digestive stream. And it's awful that at a very young age, some of us are killing those with antibiotics. And then the rest of our lives, we're trying to build that back up, but every time that we go through this period of taking a course of antibiotics, we are opening our immune system, we are breaking it down, we're opening it up to get sick on such a huge level. So many people have come to me and said that they were taking sick, they went to the hospital and they got strep or some other type of infection and was on antibiotics intravenously or on a very long course of antibiotics and have been messed up since. And this is part of the reason why it really messes you up. So I want you to think of it like a garden. It's your personal garden. And the purpose of this garden is not just to look pretty and give you food, but to really help you absorb the food that you are giving yourself and to help you be healthy and to look amazing and to have lots of energy. And so in this garden, I want you to imagine that you've ignored it for a long time and weeds have grown there. And so what happens with antibiotics is usually, or even before antibiotics, usually before we get the infection, we have a lot of parasites. We have a lot of very dangerous imbalances like candida, or we have some other things in our garden that are not naturally supposed to be there are good for us. And we're going to call these weeds. So we have this beautiful garden that's been overrun with weeds, and so our beautiful little plants cannot grow. And so I was looking at a process to actually help us to redo that garden just like a garden outside. So the first thing you'd want to do is start to water it and condition that garden. Even if there's weeds, those weeds are going to get bigger, and then you'll be able to pull them out. Now, after you pull them out, you're going to want to condition the soil. Maybe you're going to till it, right? So that you can plant brand new seeds again. And after you plant brand new seeds, you're going to have to maintain them or nurse them, give them food for them to be able to grow really strong. But you're going to have to continue to pull those weeds when they come up. You're going to have to continue to feed those plants, right? With water and nutrients and keep them well. And so this is a process that I want you to do when it comes to your gut flora. Is first of all, you need a lot of water. Any person who's had some kind of infection or imbalance like candida, I find is not drinking enough water. They are, even if they're drinking lots of water, they might be having a lot of foods that are high in sugar, or caffeine. So considering what they are putting into their bodies, they're not actually getting that flushed out adequately. So the first thing is going to be to water it with real water. The second thing is going to be to pull out those weeds. These are the things that actually feed the bad bacteria, the funguses, the parasite, mainly sugar, dairy, meat. These are things that actually promote these bad things that you do not want in your system. Okay, and so pulling them from your diet is going to do a huge benefit to actually making this garden beautiful again so that you can have all the energy and health that you need. The third thing that I was saying was you need to condition it or clean it. There's a lot of systems out there for cleaning. I like to do really simple things and effective things that are really easy. So actually on my website I sell a product called NutriCleanse, and NutriCleanse is a mixture of whole foods, psyllium, flax, golden seals that actually start to clean out your system. You can eat it every single day. You can pretty much put it on anything. My mom used to put it in bread or muffins, and I used to just sprinkle it on my cereal and eat it and really start to cleanse that colon out. The other thing that it does is condition it, because that psyllium actually expands and starts to clean off the sides and makes a really nice surface for you to actually implant some new bacteria. So eating from the garden is a great way to get bacteria if you have a farmer's market close by you, or what I would really suggest is that you start growing some food yourself. Now, don't use any pesticides, right? Because you don't want those petroleum products into your body. But do practice what I'm telling you about your own gut flora on your outside garden. Now, there are no excuses on starting a garden. When I lived in Toronto, I was on the 21st floor of a building of 27 floors in a little apartment, and I started my garden there on my balcony. You can start it Inside, if you don't have a balcony on a windowsill that has some light, like this one, you can start it in your kitchen. You can start it almost anywhere, so no excuses. If you don't have a lot of space, start growing herbs. They're super easy to grow. I actually started growing tomatoes on my garden in the sky, and getting those garden fresh foods is actually really helpful. And specifically, you want to focus on foods that actually feed your probiotics or your good bacteria. Inulin is one, it's a type of fiber. Asparagus is one of the places that has a really good amount of inulin that actually feeds that. And then the fifth part is just to maintain this. Continue to pull out those weeds when they come up and continue to feed that garden. Continue to cleanse it when it needs cleansing, and you will start to feel amazing. This type of information is the difference between living and dying for some people. If you end up with colitis or celiac disease, these are actually life-threatening diseases if you are not taking care of your body. And so this plan that I just gave you is a really good way. Now, I know I'm talking kind of quickly and it's more for education and for you to start thinking about it. But on Friday on my blog post, I'm actually going to make a post where I'm going to talk about the information, give you step by step, give you some of the links, some places that you can read more. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is, again, I want things to be simple, I want them to be effective, but I don't want you to do things that are going to cause you more problems. And so it's sometimes very questionable where you can actually get probiotics, where they come from, and if they're safe. Also, I don't actually believe in fermented foods as much as I would the system that I just taught you, just because your body's not actually meant to eat things that are breaking down. Your body's actually meant to break down things. So on a small scale, in an emergency, when things are really bad, yes, fermented foods are going to be awesome to bring you back up. But if you want something that's sustainable, use the plan that I just shared. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Feel free to comment below, ask me any questions that you'll like. I'm definitely here to help, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.